Oh, sorry. Hello? Hello? It's me. Been trying to reach you about your car's warranty. Give me one sec. Alright, there we go. Let's get started. Boom, he's done it. Actually somewhat on time today. Who would have thought? Alright, so let's get out of vpuppr 4 and go back to just regular vpuppr. So vpuppr 4, I think I would like that to be... I think a lot of the... like the core code is probably going to be moved to GD extensions, which is why I'm going to also defer that way out to whenever I get 9.0 out, and then I'll start porting things, because I have a few. There's some design. I can't even talk today. Talking is so hard. There's some design decisions that I would like to roll back. So like extension manager, there's a lot of design decisions that weren't great. So, you know, it's a little too late to roll those back out now. So here we are. We'll live with it until I port to Godot 4, and then we'll start rewriting stuff. So what was I doing? I don't even remember what I was doing. Was I working on anything? No. Let's do this. Instead of rewriting the entire extension backend, you know what? Let's work on that actually. I'm so indecisive today. How many branches do we have? Alpha 2 fixes. Yeah, we have a few. That's fine. Alpha 2 fixes has not been, or has been merged already, right? Alpha 2, yeah, Alpha 2 fixes has already been merged. And then remote control server has also been merged? Wait. No? Really? Remote control server. Wait, have I not merged that? No, I did merge it. Re-add MSAA. Runner enhancements. Oh, it's here. Remote control server. There we go. Feature. Oh, and then also add back MSAA. So feature, remote control server. Git check out refactor. Oh, refactor. That's weird. Refactor, use toml for extension manager. So we'll go over here. So now all this stuff will be completely broken, just as planned. So we'll figure out the rest, I guess. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we will abstain from loading stuff in now. Extension manager, globals. This is fine. All this stuff. Licenses, that's fine. Yeah. Hello, Nero. How are you? I'm sipping on some mead, MEAD. It's supposed to be like flavored with like sangria ingredients, but it mostly just tastes like mead. So it might just be because of how old it is. It just tastes like honey at this point. Good, you? I'm doing all right. Trying to once again bask in the warm embrace of ethanol. Could go for a good honey wine. Yeah, honey wine, pretty dope. And I do like how it's more acceptable for them to be flavored. Well, I guess at some point, like mead, you just gotta accept that mead is just gonna be sweet. I guess it's almost like a Moscato, but I feel like a Moscato is like a sickly sweet. Whereas a mead is more of a savory sweet, if that makes any sense. Parse extension section. Yeah, so what I'm working on right now is I'm rewriting the extension manager to no longer use INI files. Instead, we're going to be using TOML. And so that's another thing I would like to move over to GD extensions in Godot for. Oh, hello, Desh. Hello, Desh. How are you? Have you watched any good animes lately? I have not. I've been busy. Alright, so here we have this. Sounds logical, yeah. Some good animes. That's good. Are any of them not slice of life? Don't really watch slice of life, as mentioned previously. Watching is the Order a Rabbit and Asteroid in Love? What? Is the Order a Rabbit? The second one definitely sounds like a rom-com. I'm not really into rom-coms, but I'll watch them if they're good. I did watch Toradora twice, so I guess there's no excuses for me there. Extension resource. For a key in data keys, if key in where is it config section keys values. I'll just continue. That's not really how I should be doing this, right? Watching. Oh, it's a Yuri slice of life. Oh no. Yuri and slice of life. What a just absolutely cursed sequence of words. Let me see. What am I looking for? Alright, so we look at like OpenCFace Tracker, for example. How would I want this to be configured? Yeah, well, if it's TOML, then this means that this is a table called general. Well, how does a cargo.toml look? Okay, that's a better question. Cargo.toml. So if we look at mouse tracker, we can look at this cargo.toml. Okay. So this is how I would want these to be laid out, right? So just general, or I guess extension, right? Yeah, something like that. And then we'll have... I moved you from my laptop to my phone so I can cook. Oh, thank you, thank you. I think if you're watching on your phone, it actually counts as a more concrete view, I think. Because you presumably are... I don't know. I don't know how it works, but I think on Twitch, if you're not like currently focused on the tab or on the window, it doesn't count as a view. So thank you for boosting my analytics from watching from a mobile device. So definitely search for is the Order a Rabbit to know what it's about. All right, well, I guess we'll look. No, there's some analytics tricks you can look into. Like I know that if you, I don't really know. Oh no, is the Order a Rabbit? What is this? Bochi Usa. 4-panel, it's a 4-coma manga series. What is it? Oh, it's a comedy slice of life. Is it good though? What's it about? My eyes. No. All right. You know what? I got bad news for you, Dash. I'm not into it. Yes, it's good. No. I'm going to have to decline. So extension. So this is the extension name. Oh, hello, Zybite. Zai, how are you? How are you? Thank you very much for the host. Unfortunately, I'm not doing something really cool this stream. I was doing something really cool on Thursday, I swear. I do one cool thing a week, and then the other days we just work on boring backend stuff. But how are you? So what I'm actually looking at is a cargo.toml to try to get a feel for how I would want this to work. Maybe I'll do like general, or maybe we'll just call it package to just absolutely rip everything from the cargo. We'll call it metadata, and then this would be extension, something like that. So extension. So name, we can call this one OpenSea face. Thursday was lit. It's lit. Spring break. No call for all coding is interesting. Maybe, perhaps. We're in the design phase, which is more interesting than actually implementing it. Finish the second part of the Stone Ocean. Is Stone Ocean good as well? Or is it another slice of life? Open sea face. Something like that. So what this does, it's actually a piece of syntax that didn't really make sense to me until I read up on how it actually works. So what this does is it creates something like this structure. So we have a table called metadata. So this is like the equivalent JSON. Doing somewhat okay-ish. How are you? I don't know, just currently programming, you know, you might have noticed, and drinking some mead, which is a honey wine flavored with classic sangria ingredients, but I think it's kind of old, so it just kind of tastes like honey wine. Extension, which is what this will look like, and then we get things like this, inner tables. So this is the equivalent, which is nice. Stone Ocean's 6th part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo's, there's just too many. There's too many things to watch in JoJo's. I wish I had the time to sit and watch it, but I think if I was gonna watch something that's like has a lot of episodes, I would rather watch like One Piece or something. One Piece is real, etc., etc. Yeah, but this is the equivalent JSON that I would get if we're doing this. Which is exactly what this compiles down to, or it gets parsed into, right? Is it gives me a dictionary that looks like that. Yeah. I don't know if that counts as slice of... JoJo's isn't really slice of life, right? Isn't JoJo's like... I don't really know. What isn't JoJo? It's like a comedy it's like an action comedy, kind of like One Punch Man. I'm gonna be honest, this might sound like heresy, but I did not really like One Punch Man. All right, so this is what we're gonna go with now, which means that I need to change how all of this works. Still in the prologue phase, isn't it? Like it's in its last bit actually, or is that not true? What is this? Extension manager name. No, we don't need this. Yeah, I thought One Piece was in its like it's in its last chapter, but the last chapter is going to take like 2 years, right? Something like that. So config default search folder. Section keys, general keys. I really don't like how I did this. Now that I'm going back to it, I really don't like how I made this work. Oh, they posted a month ago. One Piece hasn't even begun the actual adventure. Nah. Really? I thought it was in its. I thought it just started its last chapter. Because they're finally running out of things to make into a story. Have I been lied to? Alright, so I'll get rid of this for now. So, default search folder. How did I do this in Translation Manager? Because Translation Manager works very similarly. Okay. So there's resource path. Translations. Oh, I should be doing this in globals. But actually, hold on. Git diff. Ooh, geez. What was the last thing? Let me just show off what I did last time, just to make sure I'm also not crazy. But most of this show off. Git add or git commit picks up git rebase interactive head to picks up. A new game they mentioned C++. You know, sometimes on this stream I also mention C++. You don't see me bragging about it though. Modified contents. That's probably okay. Maybe not. Can I get checkout? Oh, okay, hold on. Resources, extensions, OpenC page tracker. Checkout branch, refactor, toml. Commits, add all. Change config to use toml instead of ini. All right, so now we're on master. So let me show you this. I thought this was pretty neat. Get debugged, please no. All right, this is when I was testing out. Someone posted on the Discord about something that wasn't working quite right, but check this out. So we'll load the model. It takes a little bit. Let me move my fancy honey wine so it doesn't get knocked over. So I'm drinking it out of a wine cup. So check this out. So we can do iFacial mocap. I'm missing OpenCFace for some reason. Oh, I know why I'm missing OpenCFace. That's fine. So we can start tracking. That's fine. Now I take this iPad. Hold on. I take this iPad. iFacial mocap. Look at this. Look at that. Get optimized? Yeah, I wish. I wish. I mean, it's actually fairly optimized already, so Lamau already optimized. Don't need to optimize anything. It's already fast enough. Look at that. Now the question is, do human heads actually turn this much? I'm not sure. But look at all the facial expressions we got. I still really like the fact that you can blow out your cheeks. Mine does. Yeah, you know, I'm not actually sure since I'm not really looking in the mirror. Actually, because iFacial mocap has a black background, I can see myself in the iPad's reflection. Yeah, maybe my neck. Oh, no, my neck doesn't actually turn that much. But yeah. I think that this could be really cool. This could be really cool. There's some options that probably need tweaking from here, from model, right? So, well, not maybe not model. Well, maybe model. You could change some of the interpolation rates, but I think the interpolation thing is currently broken anyways. I need to go back in and see if that needs to be fixed, or if so there's something else on my end that's broken. But yeah, that's what I was doing on Thursday. How cool, how cool. Let's get back to actually working on stuff though. All right, so this is stopped, that's fine. Bring my drink back. That's pretty much where I'm at. Yeah, I think the plan at this point is to finish up as many features as possible in vpuppr, and then you know, get the final release for 090 out, right? And then we'll just go all in on Godot 4. Because this is, Godot 4 is actually really nice to work with. Even though it's still in beta, I think the fact that GD extensions can, like, they can hook into the engine pretty easily. They can change stuff at almost the engine level. It's really nice to work with. Like, the reason why I don't use too much GD native right now in vpuppr is that GD native is basically just like a fancy GD script, whereas GD extensions in Godot 4 are, you know, it's almost like they're integrated with the engine, which is the intention, right? Translations path, extension, translation path. Let me see. So this should be const extensions path. Looking to package vpuppr as a demo on the website. Cool, cool. What do you mean package vpuppr as a demo on the website? What does that mean? I know what those words mean if they aren't attached to on the website. End quote. So scan path, default search folder. How did I do this in Translation Manager? Okay, this is what I should be doing. So we scan the user data path first. That's fine. So what we can do here is actually search globals, extensions, path. And then here, we'll use the globals resource path, and then this should be searching. Globals, extensions path. So this is something that I actually like a fair amount. So this will be coming back once I port to Godot 4. So I'm saying port to Godot 4, not convert to Godot 4, because it is going to be just yet another refactor. But I don't think that this will convert easily to Godot 4. It might, I don't know. I haven't tried it really, honestly. vpuppr usable on vpup pro with limitable functions so people can test it out. Okay. I'm not sure how you would... it could work, I guess. If you did apply all my patches, it should export to HTML5 fairly easily. I think, maybe. I'm not sure, honestly. I've never tried exporting to HTML5, so let me know how that goes. There's a few things you might need to change, and I can help tell you which things might need to be changed. as long as you tell me like explicitly what the error is. So let's see. Do all of this stuff. Do all of this stuff. Parse extension, and then I need to stop using this. This is kind of gross. So now we'll have a few errors, that's fine. Config names. Okay, so const. Yeah, and also you might notice I might be a bit quieter or possibly a bit louder depending on, I guess, how you feel about my voice. But I'm sitting down today because I need to see a physical therapist or a sports doctor sometime this week. My parents think it's a bone spur, but like, you know that little joint on your foot? So on the inside of your foot, you have not the inside, but on the side of your foot, you have that big ball joint. So right below that, I have a huge lump that has been there for like a month. And it really hurts when I guess, flex my foot. So I know that I damaged it when I went for a run. Because I was trying to sidestep a crack, or maybe not like a crack, but like a pothole in the sidewalk. And then just put way too much pressure on my foot when it was at like a weird angle. Now it really hurts. Need to edit first. You dislocated a bone. I don't think it's dislocated because I've been running on it for the past 2 weeks. Like I took a week off. I thought it got better. It did not. Then I took a few more days off, ran on it again, then just decided to power through the pain. And then like, cause I thought maybe like something kind of broke and it healed wrong. So maybe I'll just break it again and then hopefully have it heal back better. And let me tell you, that's not really working out. Because it mostly just hurts a lot. Though honestly, that's pretty much how I handled my knees back when I really messed up my knees from running. Microbones present as large issues. I've seen it before in my racing years. Or microbones are micro fractures, because I know that's what shin splints are, right? Those are micro fractures in your shins, right? And they really only show up due to like general stress. So if you start running like suddenly and your shins hurt, those are called shin splints, and you should like 100% take it easy after that. I have it happen to me every now and then when I take long breaks. But I don't know. I don't think this is a micro fracture. I don't know what you mean by microbone. Maybe you mean micro fracture. Or do you mean like the little tiny bones in my foot are broken? Because I think that's also incorrect, possibly. But I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's how that works. But that's why I'm seeing a doctor, hopefully. Because doing my usual thing has not done me any favors so far. And then maybe like it's from my years of like totally abusing my bones. Now it's coming back to bite me. Const metadata keys. You better? Yeah. I'm on it, boss. Well, worst comes to worst, you know. That I don't really have an answer for you, honestly. I was gonna say something witty, but then I realized, like, no, you know what? That's not really how that works, actually. what did I call this? Metadata keys, translation key. There we go. It's kind of ugly. It's fine though. That's heard it enough from my parents. Okay, so I think that's good. Here, this is the actual extension section. So going from this, we only have the one extension, right? Which is OpenCFace. So OpenCFace, that's the name of it. Hasn't a translation key, maybe. We'll think about it. And then this is the actual item inside of it. So I think we'll just rewrite the entire thing. I'm now 1/8 of the way to the big points redeem. Oh no. There's only like 2 people I know who have enough points. And they're lording it over me whenever they join the stream, saying that we could do this, but we're too nice to do that to you. Oh, thanks. You have the possibility to blackmail me, but you're not going to. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so section name. I think that's actually kind of wrong. Yeah, actually, yeah, this is gonna break. Okay. Undo me. Destroy all of this. Okay. Okay. So here, this is actually somewhat wrong as well. So that's not in general, this is actually metadata. So do this. I think I'll just rewrite the entire thing, that's fine. Whatever. I'll just keep this part here because this deals with loading in all the, I guess all the usual suspects, right? So we have the name, the tracker, the entry point, or the type entry point. I think I'm going to change this from type to like tags. So I'll have tags like that, and then we'll also do this. So it's more TOML-y. Something like that. Don't like blackmail how you're hunting by hydrate redeems. Please no. You can only redeem, I think, hydrates 3 times anyways per stream, and then there's a cooldown. Because I've had someone abuse that before, and I was like, you know what? I'll honor it by just chugging the entire liter of water right now. And then afterwards, we're going to change how it works. So we'll call this tags, and then we'll do this in this way. So this is some sort of tracker. Entry points, there can only be 1 entry point. Data is not really true. We'll probably call this GUI, right? Actually, how does TOML work? So you can nest a subtable inside of this, right? Yeah. So I also need to go into here, but take out data. I'm just gonna move it out here and then rename it to GUI. GUI.gd, we'll get rid of data. It's kind of useless, honestly. Right, and then this can be either just a string, so it'll be a path, or it could be a table like so. So path could also do, actually, how do you, TOML format, yes, give me the TOML format. And I know that we can read the full spec. So array of tables. So then, okay, so given an array of tables, then how do we go to special tables inside of that table. Define subtables and subarrays of tables inside the most recent table. Points to the most recently defined table element of the array. Okay. So that's a nested array of tables. Oh, that's interesting. That's also kind of like really hard to understand. And so the above toml maps to table, physical is a table, and then varieties is a table of tables. Okay, interesting. So it doesn't do the Lisp thing of requiring more brackets the more nested you get. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So you could do extension GUI, something like that. And so path would be GUI.gd. That is kind of weird though, right? I suppose it makes sense. So fruits, and then fruits physical is a subtable of this table here, but it only uses single bracket notation, not double bracket notation. Sure. All right. So there we go. I think that makes sense, right? Maybe, or you could even do it like this, as GUI is equal to this, and then path, or sorry, path is equal to GUI.gd tags pop up. I guess it doesn't make sense though, right? Because any GUI needs, it will by default be pop-up compatible because it must be some sort of control node, and then the pop-ups that I'm using are always, they are very compatible with everything. I don't understand toml. It makes sense once you read the spec. It's one of those things where you need to read the spec, but it makes more sense once you read the entire spec, it makes a lot of sense. But unfortunately, it's not super. What's the word I'm looking? Intuitive. It's not super intuitive. It's very intuitive once you know how to read it, though, because it's basically like an INI file, which is possibly one of the simplest forms of config files possible. It's like an INI file, but actually useful in the modern era, right? Because JSON is pretty good, honestly. JSON is pretty good, but toml is just easier to read, in my opinion. And that has more, it's I don't know. It's easier to parse than YAML as well. I think YAML has a lot of shortcomings. Like, I think honestly YAML is pretty hard to read, especially when you're dealing with multi-line strings, because it does the Python thing of having 5 ways to handle strings, which is a nightmare. All right, so here we've just yeeted everything. That's fine. So extension section, we call it extension item, right? So there's extension, and then you have, well, this is parse extension, and you get the metadata, and then parse extension item. Sure, call it parse extension item just so it's slightly more accurate. Pass all this stuff in. So we actually parse the entire thing to begin with, and then we start processing each subtable. So this must be a dictionary. We grab the metadata and then extension. If this is bad, and then the translation key, we can leave it out and just use the name instead. For key in data dot keys. If it's the metadata section, then whatever. Or actually, no, this should be this. So if not data has extensions, and we'll call this extensions with an S. Missing general section. Do I even have this anymore? Config does not exist. Missing general section. Missing metadata. We should call this missing metadata, I guess. Da ba ba ba. And then otherwise, this should just be parse error. Right. Yeah, okay. Resource config parse error or parse failure. No, it's better to be explicit. We'll take that out. Okay, okay, okay. Then this one should be extension manager. No extensions found. Something like that. Oop. So like this, and then config path. And then here, we can guarantee that this will be const extensions section. So I'll go back down here. In data dot extension section. So we don't need to do this check anymore because we can guarantee that this will be its own thing. Then we will. All right, so this will be for table and data extension sections. There's your table. There's your table. There will be no key passed to it, so we'll get this out. Section name doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, there we go. It's a bit cleaner now, I think. Maybe. Yeah. And of course, with all of these, we pass along the file and directory. What did I use the file for? Nothing, I think. Yeah. There's not really any reason to use file or even directory, I think. Oh, no, because we do need to use the directory here to parse all of this stuff. Okay, well, we'll keep it for now and then we can take it out later. Yeah. I know that at the time that I was writing this, I had an idea of what I wanted to do with passing this file thing around. Like, I know for parsing extension, we need to pass a file handle along so we can parse the actual config file. here, pass extension item. That's probably fine. Yeah, this is no longer an ini file. This is a config dot toml. Everyone loves toml. There's your toml file. Parse extension item. So we're looking for some keys. So there's your metadata keys and then your extension keys. So you have your name, which is of course the name. We have, what else did I have here? This is tags, sorry, tags. Tags. You have your entry points. And then GUI. Okay, I think that makes sense. And then the GUI should be compatible with either being displayed, with being displayed anywhere, right? Inside any sort of Godot container, which isn't too hard. It's actually very, very easy. But tags will always be available here, and it will always be an array as well. So we have tags here. We'll need to implement this here. So we scan, then we parse the extension. We can grab the tags. So we grab the metadata, that's fine. Translation key. And then for tag in metadata get metadata keys dot tags. So we do it null safely. So if there is no tags key like there is here, it will basically be a no op, right? It'll loop 0 times. And then here we'll just hit it with a to-do stub. So you can tag the entire extension as a whole, or you can tag it to specific things, perhaps. Or maybe that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, actually, you know what? That makes no sense whatsoever. You know, now that I think about it, that's dumb. Let's take it out. Because that doesn't make any sense to put tags under the metadata, because then you're double dipping on tags, but then the tags don't actually always refer to an extension. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. It only makes sense to tag an individual extension item, so the OpenC face, and then you could potentially have other things attached to it if you want. So parse extension item. We have tags, that's fine. File, don't really need it, but I know there's a reason why. We'll take it out for now. It's freaking me out. So the directory is not used at all here, but we do remember to close the directory handle there. Okay, so here. So then we have extension keys. So var tags is equal to data get extension keys tags. So you could also potentially not pass any tags at all, which means it will not be sorted by the extension manager, which is fine. And then the entry points is something that is non-negotiable. Always, oh, and then we do need to have a name attached to it. So extension, or I guess, extension name get extension keys name extension name empty safely error code extension manager missing extension name. Okay. Missing metadata name, and then there's the extension name. Okay. Okay. Then what else? What else? So there's the entry points, non-negotiable entry points. Entry points. Entry point empty. Missing entry point. Error. Extension name. Or actually, I should context. There we go. Not the extension name. Just use the context as the descriptor for the error. Then you don't always need to have a GUI, but you could. Yeah, okay, and then everything else can be, sorry, I think the part of the reason why I'm starting to struggle to speak is because this YouTube video I'm watching has too much, it's making me think too hard. All right, there we go. Change it to something more mindless. Another VTuber. I got him. Because the joke is that VTubers are no brain. Okay. Yeah, it was what I was watching before was the Summoning Salts like speed run progression of Mega Man 2 that came out today. And I was like, yeah, you know what, this is pretty neat. Was listening to it and I was like, man, it's actually a little too interesting because now I'm actually trying to listen to it. Okay, let's see. We can do like optional keys. So like optional, something like that. And then we can grab everything here. So GUI is optional. Yeah. No, and then this needs to be, there we go. So a key of keys or a dictionary of dictionaries. So you always need to have an extension name. You always need to have, well, I guess you don't always need to have tags. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking about it. You can do it like this, tags. So the tags isn't even here. Wait, no. Because tags is very special. Tags is special, so we need to treat it special like that. Because everything else is just a whatever, right? Like these are put into an extra dictionary that can be searched at will, and then you can't really know what it contains. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So you grab all of this stuff, blah, blah. We have everything here. Then we can do add resource. Or actually, should this be called extension and then these are resources? You know what? Past me was way smarter in how you name things. These are actually resources. Amazing, phenomenal. Let's rename a bunch of things so I stop getting confused. Extension keys, and these are resource keys. Yeah. So then we'll go back through here and change everything that is now broken. Extension keys. Extension keys. And then this should be resource keys. Resource keys. Yeah. Okay. Resource keys, extension keys, GUI, entry points. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Safely wrap. So this is another piece of syntax that's going to be changing in Godot 4 because Godot 4 allows for true static methods. Whereas in Godot, it's a bit difficult to have static methods. So add resource. So you have the extension, or I guess the resource name, huh? Missing extension section, missing extension name, no resources found, missing resource name, missing resource entry point. And I'm pretty sure this will not actually parse correctly, so I need to go back through update everything, otherwise we'll just run into invisible errors just constantly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Cool. So this is resource name, resource type. Okay, so that's another thing that needs to change. And honestly, like the biggest reason why I'm even doing this is because of the Flatpak file picker thing contributed by Oro with 2 O's. Because there's currently no way for me to integrate with this application because there's no way to track it unless I were to just have a completely different build of vpuppr, which I don't want because that sounds like a pain. I already maintain 3 different builds: a Windows build, a Linux build, and the Flatpak compatible build. I cannot imagine having to maintain, the Flatpak compatible build, having to maintain that one plus additional code. That sounds like a nightmare. So instead of doing that, I am rewriting the extension code so it's easier to manage in the future. Yeah, so like I guess if this was an actual business, right? You know, I would suck it up and just maintain that technical debt. But because I don't make money off this, I have the luxury of going back and refactoring. So extension.gd. So add resource. Type of resource from the config file. Yeah, that's not really true. So we do this. So func add resource. So we have the resource name. I guess we have the tags. Well, let's do it like this. We have the resource name, which we know we'll always have. We'll always have the entry point. Entry point, which we'll always have as well. And then we'll also have the tags, which is an array. Yeah, extension resource. Oh my god, there's so many things that need to be changed. Okay, hold on. I forgot how complicated I made this as well. Extension resource. Why does this need to be a separate thing? There's no reason this needs to be a separate thing. Okay, let's just refactor this out. So instead of it existing as a separate file, we could just have it here. So class extension resource extends reference, which I think if you talk to a lot of people who do a lot of Godot stuff, they'll say that's sacrilege because it has resource in the name, so it should actually be extending a resource, but I'm not doing that because I really dislike how Godot does its resource stuff because it likes to use absolute paths, or not absolute, it likes to use like absolute relative paths, which is a weird way of putting it. But basically, it replaces all paths with, you know, like an res, a res : / which is a project specific thing that only really helps if you know what things are being exported with your project, which I don't, right? Because these are extensions, right? So these can be loaded at runtime. They are not exported with your project, which means the res : / path is no longer valid for a lot of these things. Yeah, so we have name. Oop. Can't override. That's fine. Get rid of this. Do this here. Probably okay. So then we have the extension name of our resource name, which is different. Resource type, no. Var tags. Yeah, and then the entry points, which is a path. And then the other things, which is, I don't even know. What did I call this in here? Just the optional? That's kind of tough. It is GD native and then translation key. entry point. GD native. You gotta think. Extension resource extends extension resource. Like that. Something like that. Am I allowed to do this? I might be allowed to do this. It's possible. We do this. Hold on. So does this parse correctly? Maybe not, because we're still running into errors here. So we'll get rid of this. We'll go back to U. We'll look at extension manager. I think we're fine, probably. So this should look more or less correct. And then actually, if we're already moving everything to like oh, no, I think if we're doing this, we should keep all the model files all in one file like this. So the extension contains extension resources, and then this does mean that we can get rid of extension resource, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And then we just keep this init thing here. Yeah, then we have extra. Oh, hello, patatas del papa. I don't know what a patatas is. Is that like a dad's potatoes? Patatas? Of the father, not father in general. Potatoes? Dad's potatoes? Yeah, see, I know things. Had to think about it a little bit. But how are you? How are you? I'm doing some boring stuff. I'm refactoring the extension system so it's more extendable, shall we say? Because previously I had, you know, someone contributed an XDG desktop portal compatible file picker for vpuppr, but there was not really a great way of integrating it into the application as it is now. So I'm refactoring this part so that I can then include this Flatpak file picker, which is really only applicable on Linux. So, you know, the things I do for contributors. So we found Las Papas is father, Pope, and also potatoes. Funny that you mentioned potatoes, because my little stream thing here is called Friendly Potato Stream. Oh, baby. Based entirely off the fact that the recommended GitHub name for the repository for that was Friendly Potato. And you know what? Friendly Potato? What a great name. Big fan, big fan. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. And then we just need to check to see if it's a GD native extension resource or just a regular extension resource. But they'll use the same data. Yeah. Makes sense to me. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. And here, extension resource keys. Almost none of these are going to be GD native resources, except I know for a fact that this is mouse tracker is a GD native thing. So GD native equals true. Okay, so resource keys, GD native. Supper is cooked. Has been cooked, or is it cooked? GT native. Isn't it weird? That's one of the oddities of English. Like supper is cooked and then supper has been cooked actually refer to two different points in time. Or actually, I guess supper is cooked refers to it in past tense, in like the infinitive past tense, but has been cooked is more of a like a definite point in time past tense kind of word. Both of which are technically correct. But I guess has been cooked implies like it was cooked just now. Whereas has or is cooked implies, I don't know, implies nothing. Like you could be referring to like it was cooked. Or supper was cooked, supper is cooked. Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. What's the difference? What's the nuance between supper is cooked and supper was cooked? Supper was cooked implies infinitive, whereas supper is cooked is more of it happened just now. But what has been cooked? All right, now I've confused myself. I've got myself off on a tangent that is not relevant to anything. But now I'm curious. Supper is cooked, was cooked. Was cooked is infinitive, is cooked is more of a definite point in time, but then has been cooked is also there. So which tense is that? What a unfortunate conundrum I've placed myself in. And then there's translation key, which is technically optional. Translation key. Translation key. So this uses the same translation key thing here. That's fine. Translation key used to be one of the more powerful characters in Genshin. So translation key, there we go. We can take this out. Well, the extension has its own translation key, and then each resource can also have its sub-translation key, just in case they're named something different, which they can be. Okay. So then here, tags, resource name. And then we need to keep track of this. Okay, so extension resource, get out of here. Go to output. Ooh, failed to determine resource type. Okay, you know what? I probably broke something because you're not really allowed to do that in Godot. Because the language server is kind of fragile. Alright, so add resource. So add resource. What's the difference here? I guess we can do it here. Yeah, I think we can do it here. And then I don't even need to, well, we can still do the tag thing, right? Yeah. So pre-sort resources. So instead of doing it like this, we can instead do it like pre-tag all resources, like so. So tags is equal to an empty dictionary. So this will be it's a dictionary of dictionaries of, wait, no. It's a dictionary of strings to dictionaries of arrays of strings. There we go. It's beautiful. It's a dictionary of strings to dictionaries of, wait, no. not dictionaries. It's just an array. Sorry. Anyway, it's a dictionary of strings to arrays where those arrays contain strings. Yes. That makes sense. Thinking yes. So extension resource, blah, blah. Do we need to have all of these things? I think we do need to pre-sort them, but maybe I also need to pass along whether or not it is GD native or not. So, yeah, is GD native. What did I call these? Resources, so it's named to extension resource. Maybe I don't even need this then. And then we can just put all the logic here, so this is kind of useless. You know what? The more I say it out loud, the more I like it. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, I made it too complicated for no reason. Extension resource is equal to extension. Well, hold on. Extension resource new if data get resource keys GD native, and then we'll default it to false just in case it doesn't exist. Else extension resource GD native extension resource. Is that new? Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Yeah, the weird expression format that has 100% definitely grown on me over the years. All right, so resource name is equal to resource name. Resource tags append array tags next resource entry point is equal to entry point. That's pretty much it, I think, besides the entire GD native thing, right? So if X resource is GD native extension GD native extension resource, then we need to do all of this stuff. So we have our directory, C get value, entry points. GD native directory, some sort of string, is papa. So path comes from extension context, and then the entry point, which is the entry point here. If not directory exists, now I'm just starting to copy from the initial implementation. GD native directory, return safely. And then this also ensures that we don't have any garbage data. So believe it or not, this is actually more error tolerant if am GD native runtime loader am grill process folder directory not equal to OK. Then we'll do this. And then resource entry point. Well, I guess we can do it like this. So we just leave that like so, and then if it is a GD native extension resource, then we actually change the entry point to the native directory, GD native directory, like so. And then we have GUI and translation keys, which are just kind of in the other, right? Yeah. For key in, what did I call it? I just looked at resource keys optional. In resource keys optional dot values, which is kind of wrong, but whatever. Here we did ext resource extra key is equal to data get key, and then I just have no idea what it is, right? That's fine. So this could be null. So actually, if it is null, we don't want to put any bad null values into there. Yeah, okay, so we'll do if not data has key. I'll just continue. Yeah, there we go. So that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so that should be okay, which means that this portion of it should be fine. So I'll just go ahead and delete everything, and I'll have to go back and retype the entire explanation. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do this. Extension resources. We still have the extension, so we'll do extension e dot resources. Resource name is equal to ext resource. And then for tag and tags, we'll do if not e tags has tag, then we'll do e tags tag is now equal to an empty array, and then e tags tag dot appends ext resource. Yeah, something like that. Construct resource. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. Something like that. Okay. So we can get rid of all of this. We don't need to pre-sort them here. We just need to have this as data, blah, blah. Extension manager needs to change in several places here. Get extension, query extensions for types. This is no longer true. So query extensions for types. So if I run this right now, this will break for a multitude of reasons. One, because of the fact that we're sorting by tags. We're no longer sorting by these, which is jank. As data. We don't really need to have this. Yeah, this should just be tags. Well, dictionary of extension properties. No, it should just be resources. Resources, duplicate. Duplicate. Get extension. Get extension. Query extensions for a type. This needs to go away. So then this is for key and extensions keys. R.append array. And actually, this will be an array of extension resources, which should just be a bunch of pointers anyway, so that's fine. So r.append array extensions keys. Well, actually, we can just do this for resource. No, hold on. Hold on. Parse extension. Parse extension. Parse extension. Extensions. So you have the extension name and then the actual extension. Sure. So for extension in extensions values, and then this is the extension, and then we can sort by tag because they're pre-sorted. So r appends extension tags get, and then we're looking for a specific tag, and then this should be called query extensions for tag get tag, and then this will be an empty array. I think that makes a lot more sense, right? Yeah, something like that. Tag the extension tag, and then you could have more than one tag, right? Yeah. So yeah. So this is way more flexible because you can have multiple extensions for a single tag type. Yeah. Or I guess a single extension resource can exist under multiple tag types, which means that I guess there's a bit more processing required on my end, but there's less hard coding of types that needs to be done when writing an extension. Yes. All right. Yes. You can't see it, but in real life, I'm like raising and lowering my eyebrows because I'm very uncertain. But I think that's fine. Split query, blah, blah. Types who don't love types. Types who don't love types. True, true. That's true. I don't really know what that means, but yes, I agree 100%. Types. Oh, types, comma, who doesn't love types? I love types. For sure. Although I've really come around to the Golang style of doing types, and also the Rust style of doing types, where you just kind of infer the type. But that does, of course, require like a really good IDE, which is something that you don't always have. So if you don't have a really good IDE to work in, that gives you, you can just hover and get the type of whatever the, whatever this is supposed to be. So even like here, you can see that the VS Code extension for Godot is not giving me back a type. I actually have to check what the type is over here. I should have added the comma. Yes. Don't worry. For your heresy of missing the comma, you can enjoy a 24-hour ban. For legal purposes, that was a joke. I can't. My notebook is not that big. Really small text. You know what they say about small text? Small feet. And you know what they say about small feet? I'll leave you to fill in the blanks. I'm using mouse pad. Mouse pad to code. Mouse pad? You mean notepad? What is mouse pad? Are your fingers okay? I think my fingers are pretty good. I have ninja fingers, for sure. At least that's what people called it when I was still playing in organized groups, aka an orchestra. Like I have, like, compared to my dad, I actually have like very, very thin fingers. No, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me rephrase. I have a very I have a slighter bone structure. Wait, hold on. There's a good way of putting this. Because the various things I was saying before kind of all sound like euphemisms, but I swear they're not. Mousepad is a Linux variant and Notepad. Not familiar. Usually I just create a temp file and just call it a day. I think this might work, actually. Let's just send it. Maybe it'll just work. I have a feeling it's going to break, though, almost immediately when we go back to runners. Runner.gd. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that's going to break. Extension. So this should be extension. Extension resource. So in Godot 3, this sometimes causes a memory leak, by the way. So that could be a bit suspect, if you will. Extension manager, blah, blah. Oh, and this should be append array. Yeah, there we go. This is wrong. Yeah, okay. Resource entry points for this one. No, it's just called entry points, and then Godot is not giving me the proper type hints because that's not how GDScript works. Okay. I don't know, send it. All right, explode immediately. Query extensions for type. All right, fair enough. What did I call it? Query extensions for tag. And then we're looking for runner. Oh, because this is now invalid because this is an INI file. Okay, hold on. So this needs to be a toml file now. Config.toml. We change it to be tomls. This is now a metadata. This is now extensions. Extensions. So name is equal to, what did I call it? VRM. So this is tags equal to runner. There we go. Selectable GUI. Or I guess selectable in GUI. And then translation key. Classic TOML fashion. Doesn't use snake case, it uses kebab case. Selectable GUI. We can change this here under extension manager. So there's GUI. And then selectable GUI. I swear there's a distinction. Selectable has selectable GUI. Has selectable GUI. Is different, I swear. And that's pretty much it, yeah. This should be tags. Okay. And then also, technically you don't need to add the spaces between these, but it just makes me feel all nice and fuzzy inside. Okay, so extension, translation key, invalid get index translation key on base string. Extension keys. Oh, hold on. What is this? Extension keys, translation key, translation key. Hey. Okay. One more time. Okay. Invalid call non-existent function. Query extensions for type. Fair enough. Query extensions for tag. Makes sense. For tag. And then this is in runner, so that's fine. Okay, so did not load properly. That's fine. Okay, so iFacial mocap did not load in properly. Mouse tracker did not load in properly. OpenSea face is missing the extension section. That's not right. Really? OpenSea face tracker. Oh, it's called hold on. Wait a minute. That's not true. It does have an hold on. Missing if metadata. Oh, it's called metadata section. I'm stupid. It's called extension and then resources. So we'll change it here. Resources section, and then this is extension section. All right, so just let it break, and then we'll change everything as needed. So this is extension section. Change this to be extension. So metadata. Oh. Well, we can keep it metadata. That's fine. This is resources section. Table and this. Okay. Once more with feeling. Okay. So config does not exist. That's fine. Bad GD native entry points. That's true. Should not be a GD native entry point though, because that's not what I tagged it as. That's true. That's true. If extension resource is a GD native extension resource, Wait. 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 Not. Wait. This should be reversed, but I don't want to reverse it, but all right. This should parse correctly. All right, he's kind of done it. Where is this? Parse extension item. Well, invalid index resource. Have I never made it this far? Oh, it's always errored out before I got to this part. Okay, that makes sense. So extension resources, plural. Okay, okay, where are we? So remote control server, error, VRM, extension manager missing extensions section. Should be resources section actually. Or is it? Hold on. VRM extension. These are all resources. Plural. Run me. Send me. Kill me. Missing resource name. That's true. So name. And then, yeah, I know what happens, right? Is that we just immediately bail out whenever we find a malformed extension, which means it never gets added, which makes sense. Because if you have a malformed extension, you should not try to process it. You should just ignore the fact that it exists and then bug whoever made the extension, which in this case is me, to fix it. So this is VRM model, like that, using Pascal case. That's not quite right. Not quite right. Translation key. Was it not able to find the translation key for this? Because I'm pretty sure now that this will load in properly, but it's just kind of wrong. So hold on, we go back to runner. Creates view. Okay. So what do you got? So we click on this, blah blah. What's inside the data here? We have default runner. That's fine. Then there's no data inside of here, but we do have run args with vrm.gd. How does that happen? What? We're getting back into it. I just need to figure it out. Breakpoint me. So AMEM. So EM, extension manager, extensions. So we have OpenCFace and VRM, both of which are converted properly. The translation key, that's fine. Resources, VRM. Sure. Oh, there's no translation key for it. Okay. Which is incorrect. This should be using VRM runner, which means that there's an error with how I'm parsing these. Parse extension items. Translation key. Translation key is actually a core thing to parse here. It's core item, which means that we do this. Data get resource keys translation key, and then we'll just use the resource name as the fallback value. And ext resource translation key is equal to translation key. Although actually, technically, we could do it like this to save on the amounts of variables that we're using here. It's just a horribly tiny micro optimization, but I guess it might make sense to somebody. So what is your problem? Tags is not defined. Tags, there we go. Okay, once more with feeling. We break, that's fine. Do we have an actual value associated with it? We do have the, we do have the translation key associated with it, but we don't have any extension name associated with it, which is wrong. Oh, here, extension resource, extension name is equal to E, extension name, yeah, there we go. All right, so now we should be back to where we were before. Yeah, there we go, and then we load in, we load in, we load in, file not found, code 5. I mean, that's file not found, so it's, it's not able to find vrm.gd. Okay. Fair enough. File not found. What happened? Run runner, file not found. And this is from runner.gd. So this is from this logger specifically. Okay. Oh, you know what? It's probably this, huh? Switch to runner, and then it's trying to find the runner path, which is wrong, presumably, right? This is where we're logging the error, right? So we click here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see. Okay, sure. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. We'll get back to thinking through this. BRB. Hello, hello. Alright. So switch to runner. This is looking for an absolute path, blah blah, some boring stuff. Here, I think what I should be doing here is the gd native whatever context gd native directory resource entry points. Is the resource entry point not being set to so we go here, blah blah, hit the breakpoints. That should be, oh, okay. So the runner path is incorrect. So on run, hey, what's the path? vrmgd. So on run gets set where? Run args. Sure. Here. So go here, click ext entry points. Okay, so entry point is indeed being set to just the vrmgd as opposed to the full path. So we go to extension manager, entry points. Oh. Yeah, that'll do it. So this should be the absolute path. So this is blah 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 blah. E dot con, not connect. E dot context, and then the entry point. So that should be more correct. Yep. Sure. That's my, there we go. That is mostly wrong. Weird how this wasn't giving me an error before. Did something change? Extension. Which file is this? Tracking.gd? Oh, okay. So now we have a few problems here. I'm gonna be honest. I poured myself another drink as well. And this smells just off. You know, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna pour this out. I took a sip and it kind of just tastes like nothing. And now that I'm actually sniffing it, it doesn't smell right. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Yeah, you know what? I just pour out the rest of it. Basically, it smelled. To describe what it smells like, it smelled like a mix between peanuts and that dried and like an expired fish. So, I'm pretty sure alcohol should not smell like that. You know, and also like sipping on it didn't really taste like anything, so I'm assuming it just went bad. So, you know, that's like $30 down the drain. So it goes. So it goes. So it goes. Such is life. Alright, so tracker. This should be tracker. So we should only have OpenSea face be available to us when we load in. Okay. Because this should be query extensions for tag. Sure, sure, sure. Once more with feeling. There we go. And then we go into tracking. We explode. If not, ER other. Missing data descriptor. Okay, so this is the last bit that we need here. So this should be extra has Extension manager. So these should be coming from extension manager because that's how I'm actually tracking these. Extension manager GUI. Okay. So that was in tracking. Extension keys. Wait. Resource keys, optional. GUI. GUI skipping. So we grab this, blah, blah. Should be fine, I guess. The rest of it's okay. Now it's called extras. Or extra. Sorry, singular. Okay. Invalid get index data. So we'll grab the GUI from here. Probably could move this to globals, I guess, and it's used in more than one place, but that's fine. Okay, yeah, there's OpenSea face. And then it should just work based off of that, yeah. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to think about that. Because in theory, this is more correct, I guess. More in line with my vision for how this should work. But on the same token, it's a little hard to say sometimes. Oh, don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. There we go. So we look at you. Tracking takes a little bit. This does not load in properly because it's not using the translation key. Maybe this is never using the translation key. Oh, because it's using the resource name, not the translation key. Something like this. And then this should parse correctly now. OpenSea face, yep, there we go. And then we just completely explode. That's good, that's good. Item selected, blah, blah. That's fine. So if we go back to tracking, we set text and then we... All right, hold on. So the resource name should be more or less static. Thinking about it. Does that make sense? So I click on that, that's fine. Yeah. Kind of force it to be translated every single time. So I guess that works. Feels kind of weird, but we'll let it marinate for a little bit and see how it feels. So config ini, that needs to go away. We'll change this to be toml file extension. Extensions. Name, facial mocap tracker. Something like that, so should be fine. Maybe. Hard to say. Nope. Yeah, really? Wasn't able to load this one in? No? It should have been fine, right? Extension. Oh, it's not extensions, it's resources. Resources. A hello knock. Hello, hello. Never lucky, once again. Okay, so that works. Blah, blah. Then we'll load in. Yes, it is using toml now, for sure. You are correct. It's using toml because I need to have more flexibility with how these config files are set up. Unfortunately. Duck chunk, yeah. I'm glad you still remember the commands. Yeah, but I'm switching all of this stuff over to toml because ini is a bit too restrictive, and I don't really want to use JSON, although I could use JSON. JSON's fine. Thank you for redeeming a hydrate. Yeah, I mean, you saw the what I was doing. What is today? Sunday? What I was doing last Thursday. So we were doing the like the AR kit blend shape stuff. There we go. It's the majority of my water gone. It's finally washed away that kind of weird fish flavor from that bottle of mead. I don't know. I guess that's what what alcohol tastes like when it has been oxidized. It tastes like a weird mix of like fish and peanuts. Yeah. Yeah, the small bug is still there, but it looks like it fixed itself at some point, maybe. Or no, you need to small yourself twice and then it's fixes itself. I don't really know how that works. Yeah, it was pretty disgusting. It was it said on the bottle it was like a fig mead, but it didn't smell like figs, and it also did not have the distinctive honey taste that mead has. So guess, decided and made the, the judgment call that instead of trying to force it down for whatever reason, we'll just write it off as, that's $30 down the drain. I don't really want to give myself food poisoning either. Small makes you too small. Well, one small, I think, just sets you to -0, I think. I don't remember what the source code looks like, but I just discovered this mead. I don't think it was mead. It said it was mead. I don't know. I think the problem with a lot of mead is that not a lot of people buy it, so like it just kind of sits on the shelf for forever, which means it doesn't get rotated a lot, which means that the cork probably went bad, which leads to it becoming oxidized. And I guess I've never drank in like a super oxidized alcohol before, but maybe it just tastes like fish. Or maybe it just smells like dead fish and then tastes like absolutely nothing at all. Whereas, now I'm sipping on some bourbon that actually tastes like bourbon. Drunken. I drank in some spirits, if you will. All right, let's see. But yeah, you saw this before, right? Oh no. Okay, hold on. You saw this before. Actually, this doesn't matter. And also, this did not load in properly, so that's fine. Perfect sync. Is this gonna break every single time now? I guess it's gonna break every single time now. Extension manager bad query. I'm rewriting the extension stuff, and it's proven to be pretty difficult. I don't English good. Superman doesn't English good. You don't English well. Thinking. Extension manager bad query, and this is from the VRM runner. I suppose, do you want to see something kind of cool? Because I know that you're technical enough to actually appreciate this. Look at this. So I did look at porting some stuff to GD extensions. So look at this. We just have some casual C++ stuff. So in Godot 4, what actually happens is that this stuff is like ultra integrated into just the engine. So we have some fancy C++. We're doing some weird stuff, and you finally have access to static methods as well. Casual C++. Well, I don't know. I would call this like casual C++, right? Like the stuff that I'm doing here is pretty easy, I guess. There's some weird oddities, like you're not allowed to have a method called create, because then it leads to like a method defined twice error, whatever, because of this macro here. But even I can read, yeah, because it's done in a way that makes sense to me. And also, I'm not really sure how you're supposed to append to a Godot array from C++. So we, instead of like a nice inline, array of these values, we just create it on the stack, append, and then just format it here in the return value. So Godot 4, oh baby. It does absolutely nothing, but you can see here, look at that. It does a thing. It's beautiful. Hard to say. But then we can also see that, wow. Let's be safe when dealing with, yeah. So there's our logger. And then here's our logger defined in GD extension. Wow. Did you do any 3.0 native stuff? I did do native stuff. But that native stuff was basically just a fancy GD script, which, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to do native stuff if it's just going to be treated like a script anyways. Yeah. Whereas with the native stuff here, you can see that you get actual you get like an actual doc kind of for it. I mean, these should be actually named args because I registered them as named args, but whatever. But yeah, it's a bit nicer, for sure. It's a bit nicer. And then you get actual docs as well for like GD script stuff. So everything is integrated just a bit better. And you have actual access to real engine functions from GD extension. So I think the current plan now is to finish the 3.x version of vpuppr. And then once I finish whatever this is, we'll start porting to Godot 4. And then we'll start rewriting a bunch of stuff in GD extension. Because GD extensions they're not just scripts anymore, they're actually integrated into the engine. So if you were to look at the project.godot file, one of the big drawbacks of Godot 3 is that GDScript classes actually populate, they contaminate global namespace, which is really tough. It's really painful to work with. Whereas you can see here that like even though we have access to logger in our global namespace, it does not contaminate this namespace. Phenomenal. You know, we finally reached mid 1990s levels of code organization. I think the final thing I want for Godot 4 is like just namespaces. Please just give me namespaces. But for now, I mean, you know, it's a scripting language, so I get it. You know, you don't really need to have namespaces, but it would be nice. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I wrote C++ and it works. It's beautiful. Yeah, Godot people are supposed to get 4.0 out. Yeah, it took a while. I think the biggest changes for 4.0 are better C++ like GD extension integration. Because before that, I've just been writing like Godot modules and recompiling the entire engine, which is still, you know, it's fine, but it does lock out a decent chunk of people that want to contribute but don't want to, one, download a precompiled binary, and two, don't want to compile Godot by themselves either, which is fair. I guess like GD extensions still require you to compile some things, but that's, you know, it's a bit more readable. Yeah, but that's the current plan. That's the current plan. And then also with Godot 4, it should give me a, you know, more options with rendering stuff. So you'll get graphical performance, blah blah, more GDScript performance, blah blah, because now that in Godot 4, static typing gives you, in theory, should actually increase performance now. Is not just a type hint, it's actual static typing. So there's like an optimization pass somewhere, I think, apparently, according to the maintainer. So it's finally the Python of my dreams. So let me see. Let me see. VRM. Was it here? Resource entry points? No, because we were able. Resource entry point? Wait, is this it? Yeah. So the final things to implement for vpuppr right now before I start porting to Godot 4 are one, the ability to hotkey toggle blend shapes on your model. So right now, blend shapes are either controlled directly by the tracker, as with iFacial mocap, Actually, no. I mean, that's the only way they're controlled. But I would like them to be also toggleable via remote control, so you can run some external program that will forward some sort of input to vpuppr. vpuppr will intercept the inputs and then toggle the blend shape, or you can toggle the blend shapes manually by some hotkey combination here. And 2, I just need to make various camera and environment rendering options available here. So once I get those things out, then we'll start porting to Godot 4. And then we'll just leave additional 2D and 3D props for Godot 4 as well. Because I don't know. I think I'm the only person that was impressed by those. So we can just leave that on the drawing board. Anyways, does tracking work? Well, tracking doesn't need to work for this, but tracking does need to work for this. So we need to load it in. Okay, and then we run into a... Is that not what it's called? Wait, hold on. Is that not what it's called? I think this is still technically correct. It's just a bit wrong. Did I close? I did close this. Bring me back. Bring me back. vpuppr. We'll open this back up. Control K. vpuppr. Select folder. Alright, kill this. I'm pretty sure this is wrong now. Which means this is still called resources, but under VRM, I called this VRM model no space. Okay. Yeah, okay, beautiful. So we go here, presets, VRM mail, which is the perfect sync reference model. Please load in. Ah, no. Script result, value is null. Thank you, thank you. What does this even log as? Oh, that's weird how it didn't give me any error, but there was an error contained within it. Resource entry point. Oh, it's called just entry point. It's just called entry point. Sorry. Run me one more time. Presets. Vroid mail. I just need to make sure that everything loads in properly before I start converting everything to this stuff. So tracking, blah, blah, iFacial mocap. We don't have the fancy other tracker running, or the mouse tracker running, because we'll get around to it. So I just need this to work, and then we can start converting everything else. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I mean, you saw this before. Everyone's seen this before, right? From Thursday. You know, I didn't notice, but I'm able to do this. Yeah. You won't be a duck anymore? I will be a duck. This should actually be like a bald male if this was, you know, accurately representing how I really look. Because I gotta tell you, being bald, pretty sick. I do like shaving my head. It's done wonders for my heat management as a normal meat-based organism. Is that a thing? Is there an organism that isn't meat-based? I guess insects aren't meat-based. I guess insects just have a carapace with no meat. You could wear wigs if you like cosplay, but it's for your hair. Yeah, I guess. Isn't technically VTubing like a form of cosplay anyways? Bald would not survive up here, especially during winter. Isn't that what like wearing a toque is for? I know what they're called. I know what they're called. It's called a toque. Don't say I don't know anything about Canada. All right, I feel like my iPad is about to break, by the way, with that way I'm holding it. Yeah, Good to know this works, so we can start converting the rest of the stuff now. I feel it's a lot like fantasy roleplay, so I don't feel the same way about cosplay because it's not always immersing in the character. Isn't cosplay like you are like cosplaying, you were costume playing as the character, whereas this, yeah, I guess I get where you're coming from. Like it's just something to represent you. Like I usually use the duck, even though it's not really like super representative of me. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I've just given like 2 non-answers in a row. I apologize. Anyways, this works. The toque. Is that how you spell toque? VTubers have lore like a whole ecosystem? Well, I mean, if you were to cosplay as Oscar of Astoria, then you still have your entire thing. And then if you just load up a Vadi video on the side, then you have your lore right there. Oh, baby. Yeah. I'm very seriously considering at this point. Like, maybe I could just get somebody to... I could have somebody make the super cursed... Where is it? One of these models. Because it's called vpuppr, but the logo is a duck, so you could just have like a duck pupper and then give it a perfect synced blend shape suite. And then I could just use that. It would be beautiful. Art done by yours truly. I'm considering it. It would be beautiful and also like just horrible at the same time. Isn't Count working? Oh no, I haven't paid him, so haven't paid him yet. Maybe eventually. See, just imagine how nice the world would be if I actually used 1% of my real art abilities. You haven't seen the true extent of my power. You can't handle my strongest arts. You require weaker art. Alright, what else do I need? So this config is updated, this config is updated, this config is updated. Mouse tracker needs to be updated. So this is still an INI file. Yeah. It's not crisp enough. I'm not gonna lie. Well, you know, just wait until it gets a perfect synced with all the relevant blend shapes like the eyebrow tracker, the cheek puff blend shape. You're not ready. I don't think anybody could be ready for it. There are those who've seen it already, and they've already been committed to an institution. Their mind imploded on itself. They could not handle it. Alright, so this is most likely gonna break. So let's do this one. Resources. It's kind of cool. So tags is equal to tracker. Like I think this makes sense, right? So instead of INI, now we can actually organize stuff like so. So this, what did I call this actually? On 2B, what was it called? Mouse tracker. So name mouse tracker. You worked on a game recently. It's been ages. It has been ages. I actually have been working on a game. I just hate how it feels to play. So I've rewritten it multiple times. I've tried. I actually used. It's called Ebit Engine for a little bit. I rewrote it in Ebit Engine. Used to be called Ebiton. You know, this guy actually follows me. I followed him on Twitter and then he followed me back and I was like, oh, that's pretty sick. because he doesn't actually follow everyone back. The Go engine, yeah, the premier 2D Go engine. So I was working on it in this one for a little bit, but now I was like, you know what? This doesn't make any sense anymore. So then I scrapped it, and then I started writing it in just not phaser. What's it called? What's it called? It's not Babylon JS. It's not 3JS. It's not Phaser JS. It's Pixie. No, it's not Pixie. God, there's so many JavaScript engines. I forget. But I was doing it in JavaScript for a little bit, with the intention to run it on top of Tori. No, it's not Impact either. I don't even know what Impact is. It's another one. It's another one. I need to look at it. And now I'm back to doing it in Godot, but it's still early. Second issue use JS. Well, because Tori, right? Tori. Because Tori just runs raw JS, right? And so the idea was that I could have the front end, like the actual visualization part, be written in JS and then run by Tori, and then I have the more the actual game logic bits be run on the back end with Rust. You see in Raylib? Absolutely not. I looked into doing it, and I was like, what if I just do this using Go and Raylib? You know what? I don't really like this. What if I do it using Zig and Raylib? And you know what? I don't really like Zig and Raylib that much. You know, I require something that's a bit easier. Interesting thought. No. Well, I mean, I think you've actually seen this this prototype before, Knock. It's this prototype where you have you run on basically a big grid, and then you have a bunch of sub-squares inside of it. So something like this, and then we divide it into many sub-squares, I guess. Like so, something like that. And then you move units around. Something like that, and then you have like, you know, like circle units, and then they fight. You can move them, and then I've come back around to the idea of making it turn-based. So you know, each turn you define where a unit should go, blah blah. So it's not going to be pseudo real time. It'll just be turn-based, and then you units will take their turn, blah blah. Units can be knocked out. You can add new units if you have reserves. May or may not have seen this so long. Yeah, this is a really old idea, but I really, really like this idea. I really, really like the idea. It just feels so bad to play in every single way I've written it. And then every single framework I've written it has also been like, I don't know, it just didn't feel right, you know? But each unit has like, you know, like you can attack the square in front of you. Hold on, we need to make this a square. So you can attack the square in front of you. You can attack the square, 2 squares in front of you. You can guard this many squares in this area. Mr. RTS RPG game, go back to that. I think the scope on that one is just too big. No pivot. And also it's a bit late to pivot in the 20 minutes we have left. Right. I think this one would be easier to work on because the rules are more sets, and then you have a set play area that you can work inside of, right? And because it's turn-based, like it's turn-based, you can still lose units, but you can add units. It's kind of like how it's like an auto chess, right? So have you seen anyone play Super Autopats? Which is a really good looking game, if only because it just uses emojis. Like the entire thing is it just uses like the Google emojis for its graphics. So that's kind of the idea, right? Is that super auto pets, you can buy units and then just kind of use them on the field. Never seen it though. It's actually like a really well designed game. It's beautiful, actually. Like the design of it is amazing. But I think my idea is a bit more tactical, I guess. Because Super Auto Pets, it's a true auto battler. So you just set up your team. You'll go, from right to left. Your opponent goes left to right. And you just kind of go in order. Then you have pre-turn moves. So some animals will, they'll attack the opponent before anyone starts taking their turns. Some units have on death moves, so it's kind of like a Hearthstone in that regard. So you have a death rattle, etc. Right, and then you can get duplicates, and then there's some randomization as well. So you have a limited pool of units to pull from in your shop. It's pretty cool. It's a well-designed game. So I was thinking, like, oh, you know what? What if we kind of did something like that? I strongly dislike randomization. I guess unless you're doing like a like a D&D, like true D&D style, but I don't like that. But I still like the idea that you can build out a team. Something like that. Build it on stream. I don't know. I always feel really bad. Honestly, I feel really bad when I build out a game and then scrap it afterwards. Because I built it out several times. It just does not. This idea just does not feel good. Making a macro quad? Nah. The big problem with this is it doesn't feel good. Whenever I build it out, it doesn't feel good. It might be because I'm missing graphics though. I feel bad. Yeah, well, See, the thing is, when I build something off stream, I don't feel bad when I scrap it. When I build something on stream, I always feel horrible when I'm like, I just don't like it anymore. Like vpuppr, like OpenSea Face GD went on for a long time, and it started to take a toll on my mental state. Honestly, vpuppr is a bit better because at least I was able to scrap it and then come back from it. Different attributes. Well, the idea, I think, like the idea of this stuff is actually pretty solid, I think, right? So you have, you can make a move, you can have different unit skills based off the unit type. So you have units that can attack and move. So like if you attack, you do move your spell to a space. So you could, for instance, if you want to move here, you also do an attack. So like a lunge. You could move and then defend an area, so that's your kind of like your standard ability. But then you can also have a little GUI thing below it that's like, okay, here's a list of skills with a list of cooldowns, right? Something like that. So one, I don't know. This has a cooldown of like 9 or something, so that's like your ultimate whatever. Should do a game jam. I think every finished game you made was a jam game. Yeah, I think that's true. But I don't know. I feel like all the jam games I've made are just like raw mechanics, which is not something I'm very good at, right? Like I'm just not very good at raw mechanics because my programming prowess is lacking, for lack of a better term. Like the idea is good, I'm just not able to capitalize on it. But I also don't want to work with other people because I don't want other people to contaminate the idea. We'll make more get good. Yeah, well, I have stuff to do. Like remake this game for the nth time, Because I like the idea. I just need it to feel good, but it doesn't feel good, even though like the idea is there. Like I'm not even using an AI. You know, I'm controlling both bits, which might be the problem, but I think like a game can feel good. I don't know. Maybe like the methodology I've been using is wrong as well, right? Because I've been using developer graphics, which is just squares. So maybe it'll feel better once I have animations. But I don't know. Like the idea is in my head. I know exactly what I want to make. It just does not. It doesn't feel right, you know? I don't have a better term for it, other than just to continually say it doesn't feel right, you know? You know what I'm saying? Might just need to make more. Yeah, well, I have other things, unfortunately. Like I need to make this thing. I need to make this thing, which is vpuppr. Because I am paying for the domain names as well. Like something that some people get wrong is that, you know, I'm making money off of this VTubing thing, and that's 100% false. I think I'm actually at a net loss. Well, yeah, I am at a net loss because I also have not translated the amount of GitHub stars that I have on virtual puppet projects. Like this has 331 GitHub stars, but I have not looked for a new job. So I've not been able to translate this into, you know, clout or whatnot. We need GitHub sponsors. I have one no, not a Patreon. I have one coffee sponsor or subscriber, I guess. Broke student I fund you. Well, you know, if you are a donator, I guess you have more of a say in what I work on. I do have a coffee for sure. Yeah, like I don't feel weird about showing this off because that's fine. Right, there's the coffee. There's also a Libra Pay if you want to. Like, look at that. I've received 32 coffees, so that's 32 times 3, which is 30 times 3 is 90. 2 times 6, no, 3 times 2 is 6. 90 plus 6 is 96. I made $96. I can't. I'm bad at it. I'm bad at basic arithmetic. Does that pay for it? All right. What would you like me to work on, Knock? Thank you very much for the subscription, by the way. Would you like me to work on a game? I've got bad news for you. But if you have something related to vpuppr, we can talk about it. Yeah, and honestly, like before that as well, let's actually log in really quick so I can look at my special data with my special eyes. Yeah. You know, I actually, like, I was working on a commission before this as well. Pivot points to force you one day. Yeah. Yeah. I did have an actual contract out with a company before this on OpenSea Face GD. Because so some company, or maybe it was just an individual under an LLC, wanted the ability to map this kind of data to a physical model, and then I was like, yeah, I can do that, as long as you handle like the physical model stuff. Oh, and thank you very much, Knock, for gifting a tier 1 subscription to Joe's by 7379. Broke students also deserve to support. Oh, baby. 2 gift subs, and you get to show up on the, I guess, the gift sub chat thing. How cool. But yeah, I was working on a commission before this as well. It's actually kind of weird. I do have like a number of priorities. Like vpuppr is number 3 and number 4 on the list of priorities in terms of programming, right? Because I have my like real world job, which takes a non-insignificant amount of time. 2, I have my game. So it revolves around or oscillates between the turn-based game that I was just describing on stream, and then the RPG RTS, which I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. And then there's also the, I guess the pseudo incremental game using Dioxys, which you know about, Knock. The Dioxys thing. I actually kind of like this, but I don't want to show it off yet because it's super not good. But I think it's a cool idea, for sure. Yeah, because you know the I've described it before on stream, the ability to skip through the story by like, you know, you can type in 2-word strings. Or possibly a single word. So you can either pass in a verb and a noun or just a noun to skip through the story. That's where I've started implementing that. It's beautiful. It does not work. Because I'm still thinking about how to, I don't know, even do that dialogue system. But in terms of raw implementation, I guess it kind of works. Technically, in a really contrived sort of way. That's where you started? Exactly. It's a cool idea, right? So the idea, right, is that you have, right, so I don't know, you have your standard, you know, your sidebar, you have your bars here, and then you have 3 bars on the bottom with all your possible actions. Oh, and sorry, I did this wrong. So you have your 3 bars here. 3 and 2, 3, and then you have your message bar, which has a kind of a message box here. It just looks like a lot of squares. You got to trust me on this. And then you can type in commands to talk. So you have your standard kind of MUD style interact prompt here. Then this is your omnibox. This is also an omnibox, I guess. This is your inventory. This is your player stats. This is your whatever you're interacting with box. And then this is your menu bar, which is usually hidden. This is your status box. And then this is, your, as I said, your message box. And then you can restart at will. But also it's just, you know, incremental game, idle game. So you just kind of like idle, blah, blah. But if you know what you're doing, you can skip ahead, which is where that comes in, right? Because if you know what to say to an NPC, you can actually skip ahead and skip through the idle. Or you can try to guess as well. That's fine. You know, missed your UI design and paint sessions. Yeah, well... I think it's a good idea. It just doesn't... It's just not there yet because I'm not very good at UI design. But I figured out a way to make the fancy, like, here's what you have to say to force your way forward in the story thing. I figured out a good way to make that work. The screen is kind of nostalgic. Thank you. That's how you know you've been following the stream for too long. But it's good to know that you're still with me here. Anyways, let's send it really quick. Maybe this will just work. So go here, tracking, mouse tracker, it's here. Okay. Invalid get index resource entry points. You know, this is just called entry points actually. But yeah, hopefully that made sense. That made sense to me in my head, but that's because I have everything just kind of somewhat working. It's mostly just a bunch of boxes, and then the status, like the log container, doesn't really work. I'm still thinking about it, and or trying to make it work within Rust. But inputting text kind of works. We're able to process it. There's not really like any way to do the story thing because I'm actually building out that library on my own. Paint is a decent UI designer for concepts. Yeah, no, especially now that Figma has been bought by Adobe. RIP. Yeah, I have you to blame for me knowing about VTubers. We're tied for life after that. Yeah, that's fair enough. Hey, you know, VTubers are pretty big. You know, you keep learning more about VTubers every day. Hey, you know, like I'm technically a VTuber. I'm a duck, more or less. Ooh, failed to load. Please report this as a bug. Mouse tracker failed to load. Please report this as a bug. Fair enough. Mouse tracker GD. Mouse tracker GD. Why did this fail to load? Start receiver. Mouse tracker. Okay. Start. Okay. So we have a lot of text. That's fine. Unable to load mouse tracker. The duck tuber I know of. I think there's one other duck VTuber, but they're like I think on Twitter they call themselves a V-tweeter, which is weird. Seems weird to me. Actually, I think I actually because of this vpuppr stuff, I follow a decent amount of V-tweeters, which is I plead the fifth. I decline to comments for fear of incriminating myself on exposing my opinion on them. You know, like I like VTubing because, or I guess at least using the duck model because honestly, sometimes I'm shirtless. Or maybe my face is kind of dry and I just would rather not show that on stream. Whereas the duck model allows me, you know, like, oh, it's like a real person, more or less. But I don't actually have to be presentable. Oh, thank you for redeeming a hydrate. I'm gonna finish on my water. Doesn't have to be humans, just track on the virtual model. True, true. I'm finished with my water, so it sounds like I should probably get done with my stream soon so you don't force me to refill my water. Clothing is overrated. So true, true. I am wearing a shirt right now, though. I am somewhat heavily intoxicated, though. Or at least my face is very, very red. I've checked. Hold on, I'm switching my thing. My video I'm watching on the side. Made the duck yourself? How many VTubers can claim they both made their model and the software they're using? Yeah, you know what? That's true. That's true. Most VTubers don't use the same thing. I can tell you that whenever what's-her-face, whoever made Enoch, apparently they pronounce it Enoch, not Enochi 2D. Enochi 2D. They're the other person that can claim that they made everything themselves, and it's actually a pretty cool piece of software. They do have some suspect opinions about development, and also they're writing it in D, which is weird. Also, check that out. I'm one of the contributors. Woo! He's done it. Show me VTubers, Rogan, show me vpuppr, and you show me what it's like to combine Linux and VTubing into one seamless experience. I don't know if it's seamless or not, but I'm doing my best. No, one person who made and rated themselves? Yeah, I mean, it's not super difficult to make a 3D model, right? It's not super duper difficult, because you know, it's a 3D model. And rigging, you just follow the instructions. Writing software, though, is another thing entirely. OGD native resource. Yeah, I'm not drunk. I am a little past buzzed, I guess, because of the mead, and also now the bourbon, which is I think 50 proof. It's not 50 proof. It's 45 proof, I think. Yeah, D. Yeah, D, which is basically just like bad C#. It's ahead of time compiled C#. That's basically how I would describe D. But you can also AOT compile C# anyways, so I don't know why you would write it in D. Yeah. I think D's fine, but the tooling is bad. Seamless doesn't quite exist, but this has been the most seamless experience yet. Oh, thank you, thank you. I mean, if you were content. If you were content, or if I were content. There's a distinction. Extension name, extensions get, extension name, resources. I think this is wrong. What am I returning here? So this is unable to load mouse tracker. Hey? What did I, Am I stupid? I might be stupid. Hold on. Oh, you know what? I am stupid. Okay. There we go. Instead of like actually bubbling up the error, I just replace it with my own. Let's not do that. Mouse tracker. What's the error? So bad GD native class maths polar. Okay, sure. Bad GD native class. So we get to create class, and then the class name is wrong because it should be called mouse polar as the class name. I'm gonna head off. All right, thanks for hanging out, Knock. Much appreciated. Thank you for your subscription and the gift sub. Content, everything for content. Catch you later. Enjoy it. Game Jam at some point. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe one day. I think a Ludum Dare is coming up somewhat soon, so maybe I'll join that. When's the next Ludum Dare? Ludum Dare is starts in 11 days, so maybe we'll see if I can join then. It is a Friday, so maybe I should actually take that off. Yeah. We'll think about it. I'll think about it. The last Ludum Dare did not go well because I just could not come up with a good idea. I think that's probably the biggest thing about Ludum Dare or any game jam that's only 48 hours in length, right? Is that you need to, if you don't have a good idea, or if I don't come up with a good idea, I always feel really bad about it. Right? Like, if there's a good idea, I'm motivated to work on it. If I don't have a good idea, I just want to drop it immediately. So create class. You know what? Let's put a breakpoint here. So this is under, what did I call it? Extension manager. Here. Breakpoints. See ya. All right. Thanks for popping in, Knock. Have fun at work or whatever. I think good timing because I'm also about to head off. Well, hold on. Libraries. What libraries do I have here? So libraries is a dictionary of one. The lib name is lib, which is not quite correct. Well, you know what? That's not so bad. Oh, you know what? It's That is pretty bad, actually. This is completely wrong. Create class, class name, load GD native resource. Load GD native resource comes from here. Load GD native resource. Mouse tracker, mouse polar. Hey. Class name. So why did this give me some garbage? Load GD native resource. Right. Load me. Hold on. There's something I've done wrong here. Start receiver. No, that's right. Class name, mouse polar, create class. We jump into here. Nice night. Yes. Unknowingly, you have insulted my person knock here. They're in Aussie. So actually, it's have a good morning. They're real adults. They don't have time to watch me. So we jump into here, create class, Well, why is oh, it's because the entry point's wrong. But because the entry point's wrong. Okay, hold on. So it's because of this entry points. So the entry points for GD native stuff needs to be relative. So this is just entry points. And then this GD native directory is really only for processing the folder, right? Yeah. Oop. He's done it, probably. Send me. He's done it. Okay, so we're back to normal functionality, which is kind of cool, but it's not so cool because it's we were refactoring anyways. So the only big change that's happened is that I've migrated all of these files over to Toml, which you can see here. So Toml isn't, I mean, it's not that different from INI files, but I think it's still pretty cool. So look at that, it works now. Everything works probably. So I can turn, oh, tracking. Mouse tracker, kind of broken. We can stop that. But then we can also run the iFacial mocap tracker on the duck, which will reset a lot of the options. Go here, iFacial mocap. There we go. So you can see that the current duck on screen, well, I'm circling around right now, is using OpenSea Face, and then the current duck that's being rendered in this window is using iFacial mocap, and that device, that my iPad, is actually far off to my right. So you can see they're kind of offset. Yeah, is it better for performance? Oh, absolutely not. No, it's probably worse for performance. But it is more configurable, and then we only need to load it in once. So I'm fine with worse performance if it's, I guess, more configurable, right? So I do need to go over this one more time to make sure everything is fine, I guess. But at least all these configuration files are more or less translated properly. Yeah. Well, I mean, the performance is probably, like, honestly, the performance hit is negligible, right? Because this Toml parser is in C++. Like, do we use up a few extra cycles on, you know, your CPU? Yeah, maybe. We use up probably like 50 more cycles on your CPU. What does that mean in terms of like user load time? I don't know, like maybe like a microsecond. So who cares? Like maybe if you're processing 1,000 extensions, this could possibly start making an impact, but you kind of have other things to worry about at that point, right? Is why are you processing 1,000 extensions? So for this particular use case, it's fine. A little load amount makes a huge difference on my device. Well, it's also written in C++, so it makes almost no difference on most devices, I think. So I'm going to push this anyways. Maybe if it makes a big difference on your device, we can talk about it. But for now, I think I'm just going to keep it. So git add. Well, hold on. We need to go into cd resources extensions. The potato game settings. Well, have I got the game for you? I am making a game that's more or less completely text-based. I did describe it on stream, and I do want to finish it. That's honestly been the number one thing I've been working on recently is the kind of incremental game, because I really like the idea. But unfortunately, I like the implementation is taking a while. But that would be a game that you would be able to run, hopefully. Maybe, I don't know. I've never tried, honestly, on any other device other than Windows, so maybe you wouldn't be able to run it. Git add. All right, actually, check out refactor toml. Git add all. Use toml for config file. I think that's probably okay. And then we'll just need to send this. I'll think about it. So we have iFacial mocap. New commits. Oh, I was just there. Sorry. OpenCFace. Git add all. Git commits message fix up, and then we'll do git rebase. We'll squash all our commits. Yeah, that's probably fine, yeah. You know what? We'll wait on it. I'll think about it. I'll let it stew overnight. I'll come back to it tomorrow and see if everything still makes sense when I'm, I guess, have a clearer mind. Minecraft vanilla and Adofi. I don't know what that means. If nothing else runs in the background. When I'm making VTube recordings, I can only run OBS plus vpuppr. Not drunk. No, I'm not drunk. I am intoxicated. Somewhere between buzzed and drunk, but I would not say that I'm drunk. I think if you were to ask me to drive a car, I would tell you no. Officer, you have come to the wrong person. I will walk home, thank you. But I think if you were to be like, hey, like, Tim, would you like to jump over this campfire? I'd be like, no, I'm not that intoxicated. Maybe after like 3 more drinks, I'll start to consider it. A Dance of Fire and Ice, the Rush E meme from that game. I don't know what that means. So we're gonna dance on burning pallets. Maybe. I don't know what that. Maybe for wearing shoes with iron soles. Possibly that might make more sense. Nice fire. No, I mean, I have been convinced to jump over a campfire before when I was like severely intoxicated. So Because I think when I get like really intoxicated, I get really aggressive. Maybe not really aggressive. Maybe that's not the right terminology. But maybe I get really abrasive is probably the best term for it. Is that, you know, it gets really easy to bait me into doing dumb stuff when I actually get intoxicated. Which is why I'm very careful about how much I drink when I'm out in public. Or on stream as well. Like sometimes, honestly, like when I cut a stream short, when I've already started streaming, that's usually because I've realized like, oh, I've had too much to drink. Unfortunately. So something in my liver has just decided to stop processing the alcohol. And then, you know, we've hit points where I can no longer make good decisions, you know? The bush party bonfire is made from wood pallets and made fun in warehouses. When a new pallet's thrown on, 2 people go dancing on the burned pallet. You know, I've never heard of that, but I would totally believe it. You know, pallets are pretty expensive, actually. I actually have a acquaintance, I was about to say friend, who's made one of those, you know, like Instagram or what's it called, Pinterest, like bed frames from pallets. To be honest, pretty cringe. You know, I think this looks good actually. I think I'm just gonna send it. I've been looking at it, and you know what? It looks okay. You know, what if we just send it? What if we just send it? iFacial mocap. Git check out master. I still like using master instead of main. I have too much muscle memory to change now. I'm starting to understand what my parents are talking about. where they'd be like, yeah, I'm too old to change now. We'll just keep doing it. And, you know, I used to be like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But now here, where like a lot of services have changed from using master as the default branch to using main, I'm starting to get it. You know, like, you know, like I can call things masters, or I can call like a node in a cluster a worker. But I you know, I'm not gonna call it a controller node. Sorry, it's the master node. You know, we don't need to have master nodes and slave nodes. We can have master and worker nodes, but I'm not gonna call it a controller node. Sorry. Control node maybe. I'll think about it. Git merge refactored toml. Yeah, that might be a hot take, but yes, but we get them for free because the stores in other various places in town have some that are no longer usable. You might be surprised. I don't know. I've worked with a ton of like near broken pallets. Back when I used to work in inventory at Walmart. Long ago. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Kill this. Go to iFacial mocap. I'll grab the... No, actually I still have this. Git push vpuppr, of course. He's done it. Open C face tracker, git remote v. So most people will be using the origin. You actually need to add a new remote if you want to push properly. I still need to think about the git submodule workflow for vpuppr as well, honestly. Nothing to commit tree clean. Git checkout master. Git merge refactor toml. Git push vpuppr force. There we go. So those should all be fine. Typed it wrong. Git log. Okay, so git add all. Git commit fix up. So we'll fix this up. Sorry. Fix up. Ooh, what did I do? undo. And then reword this commit. I think that's probably fine. Rewrite how extension manager parses extensions. Yeah, that's probably fine. Push that here. I know you might be amazed by my beautiful branch manipulation. Oh, you know what? I did not check to see if gut still works. Please. No! I missed one. No. You know what? I'm going to come back to it. I don't want to deal with this right now. But the test is going to fail. Did I not? Wait, also, did I not fix that up? I'm dumb. Okay. Did I really not fix that up? All right, git rebase I head to. I'm dumb. All right, fix up. Oh, because I undid my change and I just did not. Phenomenal. All right. Push that. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Sure. It's beautiful. For a second, I thought you were using Vim. I am using Vim. I don't always remember all the hotkeys, but I remember most of them. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'll do this later. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'll be live. What day is it? Sunday. I'll be live Tuesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, working on this again, trying to get the regular 090 release out, because there's only like 2 more things that are must-haves for the 090 release, and then I'll start working on porting this to Godot 4. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I don't know who else is streaming right now. Is anyone I know that's doing stuff? There's KT, but they I don't even know what they're doing actually. Who else is doing Godot stuff? Maybe we'll just send it, or maybe we just won't do anything at all. That's also pretty good. Filtered by Godot. No, you know what? Oh, this person's not even doing any Godot stuff. You know what? There's no one doing Godot. Whatever. I guess you'll just have to find someone else to watch. Thanks for tuning in. I have a GitHub here if you want to check that out. There's a Discord if you want to bug me about various whatevers. And yeah, give the channel a follow if you haven't already. I stream Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, and on Wednesdays from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. I will see you later. Give me stars on GitHub. Goodbye.